You know, it's Bank, it's fresh. A lot of new strategies could be pulled through. We'll see if they can do any of it.
A lot of potential for roaming teams too. So as the bans come in, Demo, what time is it now?
I think everybody knows what time is it. As of course, Secret and Vex is going to get underway, and it's Siege time.
So as our first ban comes through, it took them a minute or two. Secret had to actually make their mind up on that. They're going to go with the Glass ban. So they're going to give Vexed, or rather force Vexed into being the Lion ban? Or do they gamble with the idea of leaving it open?
No, Vex ban Lion. Yeah. No doubt in my mind.
What a surprise.
Yeah. Mostly because Secret will play Lion. Secret will happily play Lion. They have Lucky there, and they, before the bans came into effect, whenever Lion was a thing, Secret were very heavy on the Lion. They play it every time they can, and really I'm kind of expecting either Mira to be banned out, or no, Echo is going to be the option for the players of Vexed. And I'm guessing this is probably going to be the Mira ban for Secret. Blaz and Mira has always been their go-to bans in any competition that they play, and like I said, yeah, both of those operators gone. Looking at these four, nothing out of the ordinary. These are the four most banned operators we have inside of the competition. So, yeah, it will be good to see some less of these very strong operators and more of these kind of niche picks. Maybe Montagne might be an option, who is a very big staple for Bank. Or we might, again, see Jackal, who really doesn't get enough play, as I believe he should, but on Bank, on a very heavy roamer map, a very big map, then yeah, you're really expecting some Jackals to be brought.
Yeah, as I say, it's a map which is very roamer heavy. It's a map that also lends itself to late roaming perhaps as well, which is something we've seen a few teams try out. And as you say, it lends itself to Jackal too, because of that size and because of tracking and controlling his roamers as fast as possible. You don't have the time to drone every little corner of the map that you do on some of these others. So you rock up there, Jackal goes first. As long as his initial peak is clear, which you can drone that bit, then he can find the footprints, scan them out, and then you know exactly where to look for your next guy. And you don't have to do any more hunting down to really waste your time. And and we do see a 6th pick out from Secret though. They have switched away from, I think it was an Ella previously, and are now over onto a Clash for their basement defense.
I just want to clarify why me and Planky may be chuckling at the moment, because our monitor screen is going haywire. It's just turning on and off and on and off, and it's just done it again.
It didn't get the memo that Halloween is done.
Oh,
and
God.
It occasionally opens the menu thing too. I think there's a ghost pushing the menu buttons, but hey, we'll see.
Oh.
Team Secret's defense then. Clash can control this server room really well in the basement, but that also requires the hatches above to stay closed, otherwise she can easily get cut off. So we'll need to see how it is they choose to play that and where it is they choose to use her most effectively.
A bomb has been located.
So, Vex, they will already start to gear up towards this dirt tunnel. Is this a potential rush coming in from Zach and Doki, the aggressive operators? Maybe looking to try and just push their way in through. But as you can see, two angles being held by Lackey and Leon. Both have the angles, and both of them will try and peek at the same time. That was very risky. Zach will hold his ground, however, and this should scare the players of Vex to retreat and think of another option, as that quick push was not valuable enough for them to try and stick with it. Feral and Doki, who were kind of expecting to perform pretty big, and Leon Gage just pushes straight up, but Feral eliminates Leon. There is a little bit of history there between Feral and Team Secret, as if you did not know, Feral used to be not only a player for Team Secret, but also a coach, and then in the end, he actually did leave to go and join G2, so there's a bit of history there between them.
I think Clash was literally zapped my monitor to death there.
I've seen that.
As we switched to Clash, the electricity came on and my monitor went off. So.
That's where she gets her power from, is ESL UK Studio 2. That's it.
Nice quick push in through server though from Vexed after they got that early kill, or after rather Leon got that early kill on Doki and was traded back. Clash was in there and trying to hold them off for as long as she could, but she was pushed back and away, kept herself alive though, and that's what's important. She then has now switched around to the other angle, to the other door, to the staircase, to make sure and to push away any possible flank push from there. But the plant's already going down. They are going to put a Claymore down straight onto it afterwards, but C4 goes out from Lackey to take down Zach. That didn't stop the plant, though, as far as I can tell. I can't see it. And it did mean Dearly backed away. He's now gone back in to replant it, and it will go through. He also had a Claymore to put down directly on top of it, but it's 4v3 now. With Stizzy still alive on Clash, they might be able to retake this if they're aggressive, but they're still very slow here and not looking really too hard to try and retake it. Stizzy upstairs does put the shield away and is looking for his as he's trying to find an option. Feral holding the back staircase. There's a man in kitchen who will see him. Lackey gets that kill onto Feral, who peeks with his eyes closed. Jesus does get the kill onto Meepy, but Lackey's now flanking him because of that kill he got onto Feral and will shoot him straight down just as Lackey drops through the hatch. Dearly is up and above and does see the man on the defuse. Manages to take him out. They've got to stop the defuse now, and they need to hold it. If Dearly peeks and stops the diffuser here, it could be huge. They are holding onto it. Lackey does get the kill as Dearly dropped it. Were they close enough? Yes. No! They weren't. The attacking team gets the bomb defuse. Clash couldn't get back onto it in time, so that kill that Dearly got down through the hatch on the first diffuser clutched out that round.
I am very impressed from Dearly there, just getting that little pixel off the peak. I'm pretty sure that you said no as I said yes, because you were cheering for Secret. I was cheering for Vexed in that scenario.
Yes.
Wait, what am I doing? I'm cheering for Vexed whenever Secret's playing? What have I become?
Hey, I'm not cheering for one team specifically. I'm just cheering for the fact that one team had players left alive. Thus, for that round, you would normally side with that team until proved otherwise, as we were with the diffuse going through.
I'm the farthest thing you can get from a bias caster, guys. Don't ever forget that.
He's wearing his Secret jersey under his shirt right now.
Just Superman the Secret jersey out. Just like Paris.
All right, 1-0 up to Vex then, but to be fair, yeah, a very tight round. Arguably, Secret handed it to them, we could say, by being so slow with their retake. They did have a good retake. They had the right idea. They went for the heavy upstairs push to do it. It did work out for them. It just took them a long time to get the players in position to make it happen. And they paid the price for it by losing out on that one diffuser exactly when he was needed the most. But now they're trying to give it another go. I don't imagine we're going to see Leon get that early kill onto Doki this time around either. So we'll see if either of those two players can really make a more of an impact in this round and see how that shapes up the entire outcome.
10 seconds to go.
So, Secret, they may try and opt to go for, I would say, more of an aggressive standpoint. Maybe a couple of roamers, because Vexed really haven't done too much of that roam game at the moment. It's been mostly Feral trying to kind of play as that lone slayer role, where he has that Inox as his best friend. It's basically a portable drone, where he doesn't actually have to drone. But once again, Vexed, they're actually going to be opting for that dirt tunnel. Zach will be there, but no, Doki and Dearly instead will try and opt to come in through the skylight. So it's going to plan out the same way that we did see it last time, where they want to try and open up the hatches as much as they can. And again, looking at it, this could have been a very strong roam game for Secret, because Vexed are not challenging any of these roamers. There could be somebody inside of CEO office, and Feral will be none the wiser.
Trying to crack some holes in the floor. Of course, you can scan out footsteps from below. Does pre-fire as he knows Leon's close. Lackey gets the first kill onto Zach, but there's the aggressive peek comes through. Leon will win that fight as Feral thought he'd be much further down that staircase when he peeked through. Now the flashbangs are coming through from above. Doki more going in, but their first two are going to be taken out. That flashbang bounces off and should have hit himself, but it was just enough time for Leon to back away. Leon knowing that he's already grabbed 2 kills, or he and another one has grabbed 2 kills for his team, he and Lackey. He doesn't need to continue fighting, doesn't need to stay up top here and push his luck. He can fall back to his team and stay alive. 5v3 now. It does look good here for Secret's defense this time around, but it's not impossible here for Vex. They've got 1:40 to go, and they do still have an opportunity to make this count.
You say that, but maybe eliminates Jesus. Doki does refrag onto Leon, a 4 versus 2. Our Breacher is still alive, so we could see Dearly open up. But as you can see, the intel being gathered from the Pulse. This is why I love Pulse so much on the defense at the moment. He can provide so much intel, as you can sit inside of the Gold Vault and you can see right over towards the server. All this intel,
both players.
It's been so much gathered. Everybody on the side of Secret know that that's exactly where both of them will be. Doki will try and push in, but he will get stunned. And Zap, C4 as well, gets tossed out. Nearly blows up Stiz. Oh, poor Stiz.
But now the smoke grenades can finally get used. There's only a minute left on the clock, and they will lock out at 30 seconds of it. They do try and pre-fire the way through, but Doki does not have a lot of health left. Yet he's going to try and go for that cheeky plant. There's the peek coming through from Doki from range. He knows he can't plant while Clash is standing there, but they're just trying to pre-fire in towards the other side. Secret do not need to peek it. They don't need to do a thing. They can just wait for all the information Clash is giving them. There's the smoke grenade going out. Dilly's going to get so hurt from that, and Doki walked into it himself, so he will down himself now. All now onto Dilly. Clash still just feeling what information he can. Doki doesn't even want to crawl away. They are trying to bait Clash forward. The next smoke grenade goes out. Won't actually hit either of them, but does actually stop Clash from pushing them on the revive.
They're trying to kill Stiz.
Yeah, they now actually stick the revive. I don't think Vexed realized they didn't know, and immediately Dilly get taken out by Meepy, who pushed, and the Lems will come out to finish off Doki. That was a sealed deal as soon as they knew both players were in that server location. Steez could just step into the A site and hold them there with the shield. There was nothing they could do.
Yeah, that was just the most painstakingly long round I think we could have asked for, where Vexed had no hope of ever clutching that just because of the position where Stiz was with the Clash. He can see them. You also had, you still had Lucky there with the cardiac scanner giving more intel. All really Secret had to do was just wait until they planted, and then the smoke canisters come in. Pretty basic stuff. They did all of the heavy lifting inside of the first couple of seconds inside of the round, with Leon and Lucky equally getting a couple of kills for themselves, and we do square off into a 1 versus 1. And Secret, quite interestingly, not going to opt for that archives or also that top floor. Instead, the staff from an open area, which is still a viable bomb site. Bank is one of those maps where every single bomb site is viable in its own way. This is one which is certainly the fourth picked out of all 4 of them, so I'm curious to see what kind of setups they have. Of course, this is Team Secret. They're the pro team. They have a coach behind them who makes these strategies. They test it out and all that good stuff. And again, like I said earlier, they have nothing to play for really inside of this season. They didn't make it to Rio. They don't have to hide their strategies. They can just go all in and really just do whatever strategies they want.
All right. This is a site which is often held by 2 upstairs roamers, 3 people on site holding long ranges with ACOGs. They only have 1 ACOG player in Meepy right now, and their roamers, you could say they only really have, well no, Castle and Valkyrie are their 2 roamers, but will they use them that way? Now it's Lucky and Leo, who are active roaming mobile players who are currently also not on the site, so we'll see. But Vexed are a team who are known for being fast, and they are going straight for it. They ran straight in through that back door. Feral jumps straight through the window in the site, but Lucky gets 1 kill with Doki gets a second. Now it's a 1 over onto Steezy as they trade straight back. Feral gets 1 as it's 2 for 2 now. Inside the site, things have slowed down a little bit thanks to those kills, but Feral steps on up just before he finishes the plant as the Lems takes down his teammate Dearly. He's looking to try and trade 1 back, and he does see the man, but he cannot get the kill as Leon Gids takes him down. 3 versus 1 now as Jesus maybe has a slight feeling of what just happened. He was not involved in any of those fights, any of that game. He came from underneath, shoots the camera out. It wasn't active, but now they know exactly where he's coming from. All 3 players of Secret are inside the site. They got back quickly. They won those fights well. He is pre-firing a little way towards where the castle's sitting. He does get that kill onto Leon Gids. Didn't actually take too much damage in the process. In fact, no damage in the process either. He's got 2 more to go with now. Pre-firing the common corners, pre-firing where he expects them to be, not where they actually are though. They're holding firm now. Secret showing their experience here and being able to hold themselves to that standard of, okay, let's not get flustered, let's not get worked up. It was a quick active start. We did recover. We've stabilized. Now we can just wait. We're still in the defense. Here he comes. Now pushing back in through this breach in the wall. They know he's there. They can hear him. It's a question of who sees him first. C4 comes out. Hasn't get thrown yet, though. Lucky. Flashbang goes up and over the top. He comes out. Lucky peeks forward. Does tag him up. Lucky will go down to Jesus. But where's the trade? Does it come back in? No! But Lems does get the kill a little bit behind. Jesus was ready for him, though. He had the right idea and he was looking the right way. He just couldn't pull the trigger.
Oh, this is Vexed. This is the team that I said you can never predict what they're going to do. You can never counter-strat against this team because they literally think about their strategies 5 seconds before the round. That is exactly what they did. They thought, oh, it's an open area. We've never attacked this. How about we rush in typical Vex fashion? They just ran straight in, a thermite charge on the castle barricade. They hopped on in. Just so many bodies. You could see Stiz literally walked right past Feral, and Feral missed him and then said, hold on a minute, was that a smoke? And then gunned him down. So it was a very A very comedic round there from both these teams, but in the end, Secret, they just had that little bit more off an edge. It was looking pretty good there for Jesus. It was kind of on the rise. Could he potentially cause that bit of an upset? But no, Secret, they hold firm. They win their second bomb site, and then they can go for their third pick, which is going to be that more typical Tellers and Archives. So really, you're expecting for this bomb site a bit more of a room game than what we did see with that open area. They're going to try and get a couple of C4s, as that does tell us with the double nitro cell and the intel gathering with not just Lack on the pulse, but also Lems could get a couple of C4s tossed up. Quite an interesting one there from Leon. Frost is going to be chosen, so a couple of bear mats being scattered in and around these windows, which could potentially catch Vexed by surprise. And Vexed, you're known to be a very rushy team. And looking at it, Vexed have lost 4 of their drones inside of the prep phase as well.
Yeah, no, that's not good. Their attack in the last round, though, I do like it. It's how you can win. I mean, you don't always, but it's how you can win that site because of how roamer heavy it is for most defenders, because of how they regularly put people upstairs or downstairs. Go fast, go hard, get the site before those roamers can come back and deal with you. Unfortunately for them, Secret's roamers hadn't actually stepped or spread out much by the time they made their push, so they were actually pretty close to come back and join in when it happened, but I do like the idea. What I don't like is, as you say, losing 4 of their drones here in the prep phase. They are now trying to make their way into a site which into a map which we've already talked about being incredibly hard to drone, incredibly hard to gather all your information from it. Back in the old days, perhaps when you can only have 1 drone out at a time, maybe a little bit more forgivable because you're still only going to be able to use 1. But now that you could have had 2 out at the whole time to cover this huge map with cameras, they can't do that. They've lost 4 of them, and those 4 are very, very important. So once again, they're trying for a very quick push. 2 minutes in, sorry, 2 minutes to go, and they're already breaching holes here in the front site. That alone is not uncommon, that alone is not crazy, but it's what follows afterwards. As Leon Gears actually gets the first kill around, taking Zach down. That's the Zofia out of the picture, and she is a big deal when it comes to pushing into the site itself, thanks to those concussion grenades, thanks to those breach holes to take away barbed wire, but they won't have that. Quick kill though for Doki through the floor, takes down Steez, and does actually give the attackers a little bit of respite as the smoke is off the table.
That's going to be a big kill, of course. We've seen how detrimental smoke can be on any lineup, and if you get rid of him early before he can use any of his utility, then really that's going to be a good setup for the attack. Still 1 roamer lurking inside of the basement area. Lems is rotating actually to the midway of those bottom stairs. I'm sure that he probably is going to be aware of somebody holding the flank, and it will be Feral just right above him. Thermite wall will also be opened up along with those Habana pellets, but Leon has the flank, just rushes straight on through as the cover was not there from Feral. The refrag comes out, but really at what cost? Actually a double kill for Feral as the Lems tried to get the refrag but was shot down immediately with that C70, a very hard-hitting assault rifle in the right hand. Meatby and Lackey, the 2 FBI operators, both have the UMP. Lackey can still gain a lot more of the intel with the cardiac scanner, but equally Doki has a drone left and he can find out a bit of intel himself.
I really like that play from Feral, and it was important, but unfortunately he now falls down to Meepy, who was flanking around to surprise again. Leon stepped up, picking up those 2 kills, and it was huge for his team, but Feral needed to and did make the kills he needed happen. Now, Doki is alone. He has the diffuser. He's against 2, and he's trying to find them. He does somehow stay alive there, but he looks for the next peak to come out, and it's not coming. Smart play again, clear from Secret, but there's Meepy to cover it through the hole in the wall. Doki will fall as he tries to aggressively push. It's the right play because he can't make the plant happen, but Secret, too good at covering each other's back.
Yeah, the team chemistry from Secret, that is really what puts them on top of this entire league, not just because, yeah, they're great players with their mechanically gifted abilities, but just the teamwork, the chemistry that these guys have. You know, they've been about for quite some time. Really, you know, looking back at it, they started this team way back in, you know, year 3, season 1, after the unfortunate mishap that did happen to them inside of the Pro League. They had to work their way from the ground up, and really, you know, they've been about, I would say it's coming up to, I think, at least 8 months together as a team, which in terms of Siege, with so many roster changes that happen inside of the different regions, then yeah, this is considered a pretty old team.
6th pick being used by Secret this time, but not on the Clash. All right, Leon switched from the Jaeger to Caviera. Dearly also switching from Thermite to Ying. Still got the Hibana, It is possible to attack this site without the thermite. It's much harder, and you tend not to want to go from the server hatch. What we could be seeing, because this is Vexed and we've seen them do before, is instead an aggressive rush down the front hatches into the B site. A quick in, open the hatch, drop on through, Ying as you do, control the entire side of this vault instead. That way you also don't have to worry about the Clash, who's probably going to be up the other side of servers. It's a gamble, it's a risk. We've already seen them take one when they attack the other site here. Not sure it's advisable to do, and you could end up losing it and putting yourself in a 4-1 down situation.
5 seconds to insertion.
They've also gone ahead and lost 3 drones again, which is sloppy. And as we said, they're a team that like to play quick and aggressive, and it kind of fits them, so they might.
I think
with
you're
4
right.
players serving,
I think you're right.
With 4 players, 5 players spawning out this front edge, all heading towards that front door. I think that may be where they're going.
Yeah, this is...
Doki went wide to shoot the door open. They quickly in afterwards. The drones were left here. Straight to the front hatch. Yeah, there we go. Called it. I still know what I'm talking about.
Well done. Good stuff.
Open this front hatch up. The question is, how quickly do they go down through it once they've opened it? Because you do want to be fast. You do want the element surprise. But you've already lost Feral, but they dropped down straight away. And Clash was here waiting for them. It's all gone wrong. Secret were aware of it. They've been cut to pieces while being slowed down in this corner. Doki's been slowed and downed upstairs. Jesus. Oh, Doki's been interrogated. Lackey gets the kill. And Lems gets a follow-up really quickly. Zach is now horribly exposed, and they're hunting him with him through the wall. They do see him lined up. They can't quite land the shots right now. Leons isn't doing it, but Meepy will. And Secret read them like a book, just as I did. And they get themselves a 4-1 half.
That was an absolute meat grinder if I've ever seen one. They had to go for the strategy where they go for that quick rush. And yeah, they dropped and they were met by Clash. He just stands there, stuns them all, slows them down, the shots come in. Somehow upstairs we've seen Caviera, so certainly Eunice from G2, watch out, we've got another Cav main on the bank. But yeah, just Vexed. This is Vexed in a nutshell. This is what they have done every season. People might think, oh, look at them, they're trying to play really quick and aggressive against Secret. No. This is what they've done against every team they have performed against with these really quick rush strategies. But Secret, they know the playstyle of Vexed. They know that Vexed do not have these strategies compared to other teams within the league. They know what they're expecting, and, well, you know, they have completely countered it at every single option they can. And now we will see the halftime switch, where Vexed, they do have more of flexibility with a roam game that we know they can be very strong on as well, where they have players there like Feral on the Vigil who can do a lot of work, but then equally, you have Team Secret there who now have their attacks. They are very coordinated in their room clear-outs. They are very strong. I don't expect Feral to last too long roaming about upstairs, especially whenever Secret, they have the Jackal, they have the Inox at their capability to try and track that Vigil. It's not as if they're coming up against the Caviera who can disguise her footprints against the Inox. Sure, you can see Vigil trying to disguise himself against the drones, but for the Jackal, yeah, you have a big problem in terms of the pushing power that Secret do have against these roamers.
Yeah, not going to be quite as effective. Question now comes in, how aggressive are Secret's attacks? Because that's where Vexed came out. They've not won with aggression. They tried it, but it never worked. Their one win was a slower round where they just then ended up losing all their gunfights, right? The retake came in from Secret, and even though Vex had the right idea and they were holding the right spots, they couldn't land the shots and they couldn't make it count. They couldn't keep themselves in it. Secret are a team which, in this match alone, have shown they can win those gunfights. So the question now becomes, which gunfights do you want to win, Secret? You can be slow, methodical, risk letting them all get out alive, but then fight them as they try and retake your plant? Or are you going to be upfront, in your face, and go for the kills before the plant?
They have a Leon, so I'm kind of expecting them to try and go for these gunfights. They know exactly where these players are going to be located. They have the footprints being tracked. He does manage to spot out the Valkyrie and then does get a dog footprint as well. So quite smartly, you can see that the players of Vexed have decided to run upstairs and try and have more footprints to try and keep Feral alive as long as they can. And do they know Feral's going to be up here? This is the freest kill for Feral onto Meepy. Jackal off the board. That's the power of having these different footprints scattered about upstairs, is that it just makes sure that you cannot be able to track your main room. Or great bit of insight there from Vex. I would say a 2000 IQ play on that one. If only Secret had the IQ, then they could have hunted the Vigil, but we'll still see if Feral will stay alive for much longer. It's very aggressively, dearly chucks a C4, manages to find a Liams. Feral still on this room game. Lackey picks up onto said Valkyrie, but Feral just lies in wait, lurks in the darkness, and this is not looking good for Secret.
No, they're trying to find him now. They've realized that they have to hunt him down. He can't leave him as an unknown factor. And they are doing what they can, but they've taken two big players away from the actual push to make this happen. They, of course, have no cameras on this. They can't know where it is. It's a very tight angle. He does see one. He steps up and cuts them to pieces as Leon gets down. And the man that was there to help him out, Lackey, nowhere close to trade it as well. He finally stopped paying attention. Steez is now up top as well. He's going to drop straight on down, and he has an idea for the right angle. But there's the man from the server stairs to peek up behind and take him down. Vexed have got one player left to find. Lackey has it all to do. He's got 45 seconds. We've seen crazier things happen, but Vexed are not a bad team. They do hear him jump over this front lobby. That player that was just on the other end of this room stays hidden. It is Feral, I believe. He is just tucked behind the scope. Oh, but Lackey finds him, finally gets the vigil off the board, but they've lost so much that with 27 seconds left to go now, Lackey has to make it work. He does fire one shot down towards the stairs. It doesn't actually go as deep as he wants, but it doesn't blow up, so he feels safe with it. But the smoke grenade is there. Smoke himself is in the corner, and yes, he sees it, so he will get that. 1v2 now, 15 seconds to go. Cracked his way through towards the site itself, but this is the first time they've even been close to the site. Does shoot a concussion through to open up the site. Now knows there's one man in there, normally behind the bomb. It was the right spot, but Doki peeks aggressively, and Lackey will fall.
Yeah, Feral, he did all the heavy lifting for Vexed inside of that round. An excellent room game, but still the fact that we've seen different players from Vexed go upstairs and stop that Jackal track onto Vigil is so big, because if that Trackle Jack did go ahead and work on Feral, he would have been a dead guy. He would never have been able to get the kill onto Meatbay. They would have known where he was, and that would have been an entirely different round in the scheme of things. But that will be the downstairs locked out for Vex. They still have a long way to go if they want to try and get anything from this matchup. Secret still very firmly in control, and they will be moving on to attack at Teller's office and archives. We're going to see how Secret want to go for this attack. They have a couple of options. You can either try and go for the heavy upstairs push, where you have a lot of, the sledge coming in, trying to open up the wall and basically kill everybody inside of the bomb sites, and you simply walk in and plant the bomb. Or you can kind of opt for the open area control and try and push in towards triple wall. Or the more common one is take from lobby and push in through the double reinforced wall over towards the Teller sides. So we'll just have to wait. It's all up to Secret what kind of setup they want to go for. Of course, that's always going to change whenever they see the different utility that Vex will be bringing. And, we've seen Caveira. We're going to see another Caveira, as it will be Doki this time on the side of Vex, picking up the Brazilian operator, and that will go pretty nicely with Vigil as well. So a double roam game, I'm sure, will be shown by Doki and Feral.
The thing that comes here, though, is, of course, Vex tried this attack, and it didn't work out for them, in large part because Leon Gids went massive with that flank, picked up 3 kills total, 2 in one very quick succession, which he arguably shouldn't have gotten. Vex should not let that happen. Secret are a team which will not let a defender do that to them, or should not let them. Confident they won't. So Vexed's duo roamers need to do a lot together to really make an impact here. They could easily get picked off early, and then as a 3-man defense, holding this site is no easy task. So they need to hide from these drones. Doki is in that front lobby. That drone did not spot him, didn't go properly in. Naki, unsure, looking for it. Now he goes back onto his drone. Let's see if this spot Doki's position. He's going the other way. Does catch him in the corner. There we go. And Doki will not shoot it either as he tries to chase it down. It does manage to hide and survive. Like he continues to jump it around. It will get off of the drone. And then comes to hunt. Doki drops off and drops through. Interesting impact nade. It was Okay.
Questionable.
Didn't do any damage to him, but it was also right on top of himself. I don't understand, but whatever. He made it out alive and is, for now, an unknown factor for the attacking team. As was Feral, and Alems pays the price for that. The sledge is gone, and that actually makes a big impact here. Not only is the one player dead, but when you're attacking this site, getting control of the CCO office and making holes in the floor makes a big impact to the round, and Sledge can't do that anymore. But Steez will use this to take down Feral and does take that operator off the board, take that roamer down, but a minute and a half gone, and still Doki to find is a decent win so far for Vexed.
Secret still have Meatbee, who has that sidearm shotgun, which can do the similar strategies that, of course, the Sledge would be doing. As you can see, has the sidearm out, and Doki, he will start his approach with the flank, but no, Meatbee will be there with the cover. I believe that was the quick call-out from Leon, who just managed to nab a sight off the Caviar. That could have been very detrimental for the players of Secret if Doki was allowed to get an interrogation off against Meatbee. But you can see the tight-knit and coordination from Secret was just enough. Stiz will also enter in frame, will try and attempt to get rid of those reinforced walls. Zach still trying to challenge in towards that open area, and Dearly will go up for a roam game himself. Nobody there to stop him. Only one person upstairs, it will be Meatbee, but he will be there holding the flank. He knows this is what he has to do for his team to make sure everything runs smoothly for this final push. Leon eliminates Dearly, and Meatbee will fail Zach all down to Jesus. Gets one for his troubles, but really an impactless kill at this stage. Stiz will swing on round, gets the final kill, and well, Secret, they manage to secure themselves to the point. And if I'm not mistaken, that point also will secure themselves a land position at this stage.
It will, yeah, at least. I think there's a chance they could draw out should a team on 11 points win next week. Should the team that's on 12 points
that means they would need to lose against Guidance as well for that to happen.
Exactly, and the team that's on 12 points currently would also have to win, but
and then score difference as well is
exactly. Either way, pretty sure they are guaranteed with our on-the-fly live stream maths. On top of the that last round as well, Meepee's attack, yes, they lost the Sledge, they couldn't make holes in the floor with him, but they had Jackal still alive. He has a shotgun, he decimated that floor above. The flank watch, he was there, he was holding it, he knew there was a man coming up the stairs, he was watching it until Dearly killed him, and then he's like, oh, okay, I can go back to looking down through the floor again. Secret did the slow, more methodical play that I talked about. It's all right, we know there's going to be roamers around, let's take our time, let's hunt them, let's sacrifice, single them out, cut them down, take them off, and then we know we can win the main bomb site, because the main bomb site is an easy push when you have the numbers advantage and there's no extra outside threats to deal with. You know exactly where you're going to be, there's limited spots for them to be. You can even more limit those spots by making the holes in the floor, which they did with the Meepee, and then even with very little time left on the clock, it's no issue getting into that bomb site. Now that they're upstairs for their potentially final defense, Vexed are switching up to a slightly more static anchor hold. They've got a Rook in the mix again. They've brought Maestro once along as they had before, but Doki's on the dock. There's no Feral running around on Vigil. There's no Doki running around on Caviera. They are very beefy, but ACOG heavy, long-range operators now.
So, we will see more of an aggressive standpoint from Feral in a very peculiar position over beside
Doki tried to do that in the last round, but Doki's impact grenade didn't work.
Yeah,
so
and then
he didn't get far enough in the corner.
He had to go back and rope somewhere else, but this time it has worked. But as you can see, Lackey,
He spotted him.
he knows he's there. This is an easy kill.
Feral, I don't think Feral knows that Lackey spotted him.
No, no way. So it should be pretty easy for Lackey. He should know he's there. He does know.
He hasn't gone back to check it though. Maybe he's presumed he's run away.
He's going to drone up top in a very sneaky drone position, I would imagine, and then see him.
Look, no?
Oh, is this...
Is he just presumed
Is this drone racing? Away? What is this?
Has Feral got away with this?
But nobody's coming over to him anyway, so does it matter?
It does, because he could show up with 30 seconds.
He could kill Leon
and shoot them in the back.
Kill Leon.
Just because they don't kill him early, or he doesn't get the kill early, doesn't mean he's not going to be used. Steve's actually taking a lot of damage here on the windows as he's taking a long-range fight, but Dearly will drop to Leon's push in from the other side. Oh, hang from these windows, sorry. He looks for one more as well. He will lose that fight to Jesus, but it was close. Jesus took a lot of damage in the process and is very, very low himself now. There's one more player on those windows keeping an eye on him. Feral does now step up and take down Alems. So that is a very helpful position for him, but Lackey will finish Zach off now as well. A kill going back and forth quite often here in these guys. Jesus is low, but Jesus is still even lower. The Jackal will peek straight into Jesus' pre-fire and hands that kill over Meepy4, but now Jesus will go down to the man on the window. Feral, though, going to jump on out. Doki with the final kill around onto Steez, just as he finishes Jesus off. Finally gives Vex a round to talk about.
That was a very weird round. Like, from start to finish, it was one that we're not seeing too much. It was more of, I think, Secret just trying to push their way into bomb site very aggressively, not doing any of the basics right. I don't think they drone too heavy as well. Feral did manage to get that pretty big kill onto Lems. I'm still 100% sure that they did see him. I'm so sure that they seen him, but then I was questioning whenever we seen some, mad drone placements.
The thing is, like, if you'd have seen him, all you needed to do there was, as Sophia was repelling.
Yeah, we thought he was going to do that.
All you had to do is look up, look down, free kill. Even if you think, oh, he's run away, I'll drone for the next one. You just double check it. Just have a quick look. If he hasn't, free kill. I don't know. I feel like maybe I missed the way the drone was looking as it came in, and maybe it wasn't facing the way I thought it was, but I could have sworn it stared straight at that corner.
So, moving into still match point for Secret 6-3. Vex then have to pull back these next 2 rounds if they want to take a draw. I'm sure Secret will try and stomp out that flame as quick as they can and take all 3 points from this, because that, of course, will then secure not only their place for land, but also their first seed. We will see, again, that ever so handsome Vigil being picked up by Feral, really liking it, and also Doki on the Caveira, and then Dearly has also swung in an Alibi. So these are free speeds that, yeah, we see one of them is typically quite common. The other two, Alibi and Caveira, not so much, I would say. Certainly inside of competitive play, that is. Jesus and Zach being the only 2 operators that actually will sit inside of the bomb site. I'm guessing Dearly, Doki, and Feral will try and have this very aggressive roam game. And of course, on a map like Bank, where you have so much rotations, the flexibility you have as a roamer. So this is going to have to be an immense tactic from Secret to really clear out these roamers, and whenever you can see these hatches being opened up, it kind of just turns into a big fun house for the defenders, and it does make things a living nightmare for the attackers.
This might be a helpful moment for Secret, though. They actually get the Vigil scanned. Do they know where he is? Yes, he's marked. He's down in the basement, so it doesn't matter. This is the one they need to find on their drones. Like, they can't get her footsteps so easily. Need to find her. They did know she was around for a couple of previous games. She disappeared for the last round. Can we find her this one? She's hiding in a very strange spot inside the office this time, the open office area. As far as I'm aware, they haven't seen in this. VP was waiting and holding that angle, and even with the strafe back goes the other way. Feral, neither of them landing any damage. That's a big mistake from Meepy. Knowing and holding that on purpose, looking for that easy kill and not making it count. There, though, Leon Kids will do it instead. Feral will finally fall, but Doki has this time moved around. Dearly also falls as Meepy picks up that kill. Caveira now has to make a bigger impact. Zach was trying to hold a crossfire with it. Doki has moved from the open office. The drone was heading his way. I'm not entirely sure if it spotted him. Yes, it did. Now he's found it. Tries to hide, tries to shake his head and tell it to go away, but they are just opening every wall. He does turn around and look for one, but Lackey will trade him from the other way. And now with only 2 players left alive, Vexed have to hold this basement for 1 minute and 15 seconds with a Maestro and a smoke. If there's any operators left in this game to do it, it could well be these 2. They're the best ones for holding for this long. With the amount of area dial, smokes, and cameras they have, they go for it. But as LM steps into that staircase, Zach steps out into a concussion, and Lackey will find the last kill of the round and the last kill of the game by taking down Jesus, who tries to aggressively peek the stairs as well.
That will be it. Secret, they do manage to beat out Vexed in kind of what we were expecting. It wasn't the stomp. It was still one-sided towards Secret, but yeah, very good representation of both of those teams. You've seen the play style that really Vex bring to the table, and then their defense is certainly a lot more stronger in terms of their very heavy roam game, but then Secret being Secret, that's basically all we can say, and that's going to be our first team guaranteed for LAN, and not just guaranteed for LAN, that's first seed as well for them. Nobody can touch them. They will be your regular season champions then at the end of the 7 weeks.
Yep, and I don't think too many people will be crazy surprised by that, right? They are Team Secret. They are a pro squad. Question is now who will join them in that guaranteed spot from second place, and then who has to fight their way through the playoffs. Looking at Vexed, looking at the way they played, they could still easily be that second place team. They could still pull that off.
Yeah, there is, I think, looking at the standings, Vexed are sitting on third, M&M are sitting on second. Vexed have to go against Unnamed, and like we've said, they're without Feral as well, which is a massive fault for them because, you know, we've seen how well Feral can play. And it's Unnamed, who we know are a very strong team. And not only that, if they did manage to beat Unnamed, we still have next week, we have M&M versus Wind and Rain, which should be one of the easiest matchups that Wind and Rain will play. Or should I say M&M will play, not Wind and Rain. Wow, but yeah, looking at it, I think that was Vex's chance to get second place, and they blew it.
So, looking at this, Vexed, yeah, there's potential in that team. They've definitely got a lot of individual skill. They can shoot well, they can position well, they can move okay, but they don't really look like an organized team in a lot of situations. There's a few spots where, yeah, they were lining up crossfires and they were helping each other out and covering each other's backs, but that mainly came from when the roamers ran into their other defenders, not when their entire defense was set up, not when they sat downstairs and had all five lining up. There was no crossfires there. There was 3 people in the site that hoped that their roamers did enough work upstairs, and if the roamers did enough work, then they were okay. The roamers died with nothing. That was game over. They couldn't really do a whole lot else about it. And even on the sites when they weren't in the basement, they still relied heavily on those roamers making a mark. Or if those roamers were, you know, trying to keep someone's attention, someone else would have poke and attack and try and get in there and get that extra kill. But it regularly wouldn't work because Secret aren't going to let that happen. Secret aren't just going to tunnel in on their roamer. They do have other players involved to watch the rest of the site and try, and they cut those players off too. So I can see why it works against less experienced teams, and I can see why it works against teams that don't quite have all of those bases covered and have that cohesion that a team like Secret has. But when you are playing at this top tier and you are playing against a team like Team Secret, those strategies don't work. You've got to play a much more cohesive game, a much more structured game than what Vexed were trying there.
Yeah, I still think that Vexed, they still need to look at some of the plays that they do. Sure, they're a team which I think at this stage just do not care about these strats. They just want to play their match. They want to play their style, and it still is the most unique strategy. I said before, nobody can ever predict what they're going to do, and it was proven there. You really don't know what Vex are going to do next, and oh, that's a pretty good one Vex going to do next. Didn't even think of that. That's a good one. But you know, they're going up against Unnamed next week. They're without Feral, a big player off the boards. And the way that Unnamed have played, you know, they were very close at managing to take all 3 points. So really looking at it, it's more a fight to see if Vex can prove big whenever they're without their strong players.
Well, thank you very much, Demo. But with that, we're going to have a chat to Meepy from Team Secret and hear what their thoughts are in the game. And of course, give them a congratulations. Hey, Meepy, thanks for joining me. Congratulations on, if our live on-stream maths is correct,
it is.
Getting yourselves through to the LAN finals.
Hey guys, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a good feeling. More LAN attendance, more LAN experience is a good thing, and we're happy to be there if the math is correct.
Yes, I believe it is. Demo is very confident with it, and I think I'm ready to back him up.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys, a lot of LAN experience, a lot of things lined up on there, but as you mentioned, this now is, I think it's fair to say, this is a home LAN. This is a UK LAN. This is ESL UK Premiership. This is back on home turf. Does that feel a little bit extra special to you guys?
Yeah, it's a good feeling, you know, when you're attending LAN events in the UK. Like, I've been to a few Insomnia events myself, and this is a little bit more of a step up in terms of competitive experience and like a competitive scene. But a LAN event's a LAN event at the end of the day, and thank goodness I don't need to get on a plane. I hate planes.
Looking at the rest of the league then, who do you think is most lined up to take that second guaranteed spot behind you guys?
Ooh, there's a fair few good teams in this league. I mean, you got Unnamed, you got Vexed as well. I think are the 2 big contenders behind us. But there's the rest of the teams that are in the up and coming. The the next few teams below us, they all have a good shot at it. They just need to, you know, get the rounds on the board, get the wins in the pocket, and then they'll be alongside us, or at least in the qualifiers.
I think that's exactly what Demo was reflecting when it came to who gets second place. That could go any way, but the playoffs, once that hits, that is really a big mixing bowl, which is why it's so important for those teams to get that second place spot. I want to talk to you a little bit more about the game specifically for our final question before we jump on note and let you free. Looking towards the next season coming in, looking towards a lot of the changes that recently hit and the new operators that are here with the likes of Maverick and the likes of Clash. Are you feeling good about what this next patch could bring to mix things back up again, or are you finally starting to feel out where the current operators sit and where the current meta feels, and a little bit apprehensive about what we're going to see coming up?
I don't think there's ever been a season where the new operators that have come in haven't shaken something up. Like, we're all very naysaying against Dokkaebi and her usefulness, but then after a month of her release, suddenly she's played in every lineup. The phone calls are going through every single round, and she's a must pick on almost every single team. And Vigil's pick rate slowly increased over time, and that's the biggest one that comes to memory. We see operators like Clash and Maverick. People are still trying to get the footing down for those operators, but we're seeing Clash used a lot more, and Maverick has certainly become quite the staple pick for certain maps. He does have a very large impact. Clash is a little bit harder to play, but still, I'm sure people will figure her out. When it comes up to the next season, when we see what those operators do, I'm sure we'll spend a month or two figuring out whether we like them or not. We'll probably be wrong, and then they'll be useful somehow, and then that'll just come into the meta.
All right, thank you, Mubi. Are there any final shout-outs or things you would like to say before I let you go?
Yeah, just a big thank you to the fans and all of the supporters and stuff. It's always fun to play competitively, and it's always better when you've got the fans behind you.
All right, thank you very much, and congratulations again to yourself and the rest of Secret. Demo, I'll get some last words for you then before we head on. Of course, as you said, Mipi, happy to be in the LAN, but expected it as everyone else did. They are the premier team and should have done it. You then now obviously have a lot more to, or I'm going to make you say a lot more about the up-and-coming teams. I know we've harped on about it a bit, and we know that, as we said, the second place spot is super important because there are so many teams that could take it. And then once you do, and if you are forced down into the playoff spot, it could really go any way. It's not that once you're in playoffs, there's still a guarantee to they're getting out. Any 4 of the teams that end up in playoffs could do it. Looking at everything we've seen today for those teams that did play, today's performances alone, who do you think is most likely to pull off that second place guaranteed spot finish?
It just has to be M&M. Not necessarily because of the way they've played, it's just who they are playing next week, and it's Wind and Rain. They are going up against the weakest side in the league, who are still yet to get a point on the board. You always just, in terms of favourability, in terms of the matchup, it is basically David going against Goliath. Maybe, you know, David did beat Goliath, but I don't see it this time happening. It's really just more the fight for the seedings, and of course that 6th place spot will be battled out between Barrage and Horizon in our last match next week as well, so that is going to be one of the most crucial matches for both of those teams. It's a do or die, because if you don't make it, you don't get into week number 8, and then certainly playoffs. Well, I don't even know where playoffs are going to take us.